Hello, Jack Middleton, the Empowered Vegan here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to properly hold a knife, and I'm going to give you some tips so that you never cut yourself again. Hello and welcome back to the Empowered Vegan YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel and you'd like to receive weekly recipes and tips on how to elevate the way you eat, then hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you get notified every time I post a video. In this video, we're gonna go over some really basic knife fundamentals that are gonna set you up for success in your chopping world. One of the first things that I teach my students how to do when they're learning how to cook is how to hold a knife properly. It sounds simple, but I would say 99% of the people that I work with aren't doing it right, so let's make a video about it. So when it comes to holding a knife properly, it's really simple. Most people you'll find end up holding knives like this, or they might actually hold it like this. What you really want to do to make sure that you have a firm grip on the knife is you want to hike your hand up the blade, and you actually want to have your thumb pinching on one side, your forefinger pinching on the other, and you want to have this finger actually over top of the back or top of the blade. That way, when you're chopping something, you've got a firm, solid grip. The knife's not going to slip anywhere. Even if it catches on something hard on the cutting board, you're in a solid state. So that's pretty simple, and that's really all you need to know about this hand when it comes to using a knife. This hand is actually a bit more of the issue because this is the hand that always gets cut. So what do you do with this hand to make sure that you're able to chop fast without cutting yourself? What you want to make sure of is that you've got this hand in the right position. So the chef term for this hand position is called eagle's claw. And this is something everybody learns in chef school or typically at their first job, and it's how to hold this hand correctly. Now, when you have your hand like this, your fingertips are tucked back. Your pinky and your thumb are also tucked behind your first three fingers. And that way, the blade can come right up against those knuckles without having any danger of cutting those fingertips off. So the main thing that you want to keep in mind is you always want to have first knuckles forward, pinky and thumb tucked back. As long as you can remember those two simple things, then you're setting yourself up for success. Now this shape is going to change depending on what kind of veggie you have your hand on. So if you're on something small like a clove of garlic, it might look like that. Or if it's on something bigger like a potato, you might have it more spread out. But you're always going to keep that same structure no matter what you're cutting. This might feel a little bit awkward at first. I know that it did for me. And it really is just a matter of building up the muscle memory. So every time you go to cut something, I encourage you, take your knife hand and choke up on the knife. So you can even say to yourself, okay, choke up on the blade, and then first knuckles forward, thumb and pinky back, and then you can start. And if you cue those three things every time you cut, and you make sure that you take your time and you go slowly at the beginning, what's gonna happen is that over time, you're going to get really fast because you'll be able to chop without looking, because you know that every time you make a cut, your fingertips and your thumb and your pinky are tucked safely behind and there's no risk of them getting cut. But it's really important that when you start this off, that you start very slowly. So take your time with it and the speed will come naturally. Those really are the core foundations to making sure that you have a solid base so that you can chop anything with ease and with great speed. One of the key elements to becoming a faster meal prepper is becoming good with a knife. And that's what these knife skill videos are gonna be geared directly towards. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next one.